All right, all right. We are live. Finally, you guys. We are live. We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Midlife Marriage Magic. I am your host, Deborah Austin. I am a life coach and midlife life coach and marriage strategist, and I am delighted to be with you today. Let me check here just a moment. Make sure I'm checking my phone to make sure that we are okay. I think we are. I see some movement. Okay. So, okay. Well, let me go back for a little bit because I don't know how long my mic was muted. It may have been muted for a good while. You guys, I tell you, when things go wrong, they just keep going. No, I'm not going to say they keep going wrong, but sometimes more things go wrong than you anticipate. But again, so if you are watching me here, hello, thank you for coming in. If you end up watching me on the replay, hello, and thank you for picking me up on the replay. And I am checking again to make sure that everything is working, and I believe that it is. My phone is telling me that Deborah Austin is live, and I am. So again, this is Midlife Marriage Magic, and I hope that you were here a few moments ago when I shared that we are going to be talking a little bit about what makes your heart sing. And so I have a coaching program that is called Loving Yourself at Midlife and Beyond. And it focuses on 6 steps to help you to learn to love yourself at this stage of life. So it focuses on helping you to learn how to find out what makes your heart sing. What makes your heart sing is actually one of the modules that is in the program. So think about that. What does make your heart sing? How do you know? Do you know? What about that question? Do you have any idea what makes your heart sing? You may have never even thought about it. As many of us have, if you are at the midlife stage of life as I am, and I consider midlife to be somewhere, you may be in your 40s, mid to late 40s, close to 50 and beyond. Um, I don't want to get into the literal midlife, but 50 times 2 is 100. So if you're in that stage or a little bit beyond that age, you are definitely in the midlife and beyond range. And so many of us have been very busy with our lives, with our children, with our spouses, with our jobs, with our careers, with our parents, because at this stage, we are frequently referred to as the sandwich generation because we have parents that are living, they may be older and need some extra help that they didn't used to need from us, or they may be, you know, sickly or just not able to do for themselves as they used to, and so they do depend on us as their children. And so that, that gives us the parents above, and then we have the children coming on behind us, and sometimes they still need help. And especially in this day and age of where life has gotten to be extremely difficult for a lot of us, whether it's our is us, is our kids, it's just everybody. We're going through a lot, and a lot of us don't know what makes our heart sing. Many of us have never even taken the time to even sit down and consider it because we've been too busy. We've been doing everything but having the opportunity to sit down and do the assessment. So if you think about that, think about some things that might make your heart sing. And it could be something that you did when you were a child. You may want to go back and think about how riding a bike made you feel. Sometimes you see videos of kids just rolling and rolling, feet out. They're not pedaling. They're going down the hill, but they are grinning from ear to ear because it is what they love. And I am here to help the women that I work with. And let me take a moment and introduce myself because I did not do that. So, hi, hello, and thank you for watching. My name is Deborah Austin. I am a life coach, a midlife life coach, and marriage strategist. I work with Black women who want to discover their truth and thrive at the midlife stage of life and within their marriage. And I am here to but we're going to through and see if everything keeps up. So, but yes, as a life coach, I would work with you to help you to discover those things. What makes your heart sing? Because so many of us have never taken the opportunity to just sit down and get in touch with what truly makes us happy or what truly gives us joy in life. So, as a part of my program, we would work together. One of the strategies that I use is to ask you to sit and think about your childhood. What kinds of things were you doing when you were most happy? Some of us, that might have been, you might have been in a corner with the sun shining through the window and you were reading a book, something as simple as that. And just that thought brings that smile back to you. You may not smile physically, but you might. But even if it just brings you just a little bit, you're like, may give you something else. Thinking about sitting there might lead you to maybe when you were a little more active, like roller skating. I used to love to roller skate, and I had my own skates. The white ones, the with the boot skates. Well, that was, of course, that didn't come until a little later. But your first skates are those that, well, for us, if you're in my age group, were the ones where you had the ones that attached to your shoes, you had a little skate key. But I graduated, over time to some boot skates, and I used to love those things. And just thinking about that makes me smile. Now, I would have to probably take a little more care if I decided to go back to doing some skating, because I am midlife. So my bones and all the joints and all don't work like they did when I was young, but that doesn't mean I can't do it. And I want to encourage you to try some things that maybe you used to do, and it made you feel relaxed or peace within yourself, or it made you excited and gave you something to look forward to. Because if you are retired, as I am, you may not have anything to do during the day. You might be newly retired, or with this, we are in the month of September. We're finishing up September, and many of us had, you associate beginning with the school year, like in August and that. So you may be a new empty nester because your child just went off to college, or, that might be the beginning of you having an empty nest. Maybe you are considering retirement and you plan to be retired by the end of the school year or even by December. But you haven't really thought about, what kinds of things will you do? Now, I will share from my experience. When I first retired, I was very happy not to have to go to work. I'm a retired educator. And when I was working, especially the last 5 years of my career, I worked 52 miles away from my house. And so that was a bit of and I was in Atlanta at the time. My husband and I have retired to Monte, Ecuador now. But at that time, we were living in Atlanta and doing, doing the work stuff. And when we retired, I was glad not to really be working. But now I'm more completely retired, and um, have more time in the day. So sometimes, you might be sitting around thinking, what am I going to do today? And if you haven't really planned for it, you may over time end up in a cycle of doing nothing. And we don't want that for you, because as we get older, we definitely need to continue to be, moving about and busy. And so finding out what makes your heart sing might be the catalyst that you need to start trying something different, to go and, maybe it's not, roller skating, maybe it's painting. You would like to try that, or start taking yoga, because we need to stay flexible and vibrant, and yoga would be beneficial. So there are a lot of different things that you could do that would lead you into thinking, well, what makes my heart sing? So I have this program that this is a part of, and I wanted to just share with you, just to give you a little bit of an idea of what some of the modules would look like with us working together. Now, of course, you'd have to join the program in order for us to get into it real deeply, but just real generally, I can share with you that there are 6 steps that I use in the program. It's called Loving Yourself at Midlife and Beyond. And so last week I talked about discovering who you are now and using the wheel of life in order to determine how things are going in your life, and whether or not your life is balanced the way that you would like for it to be. Again, if you are transitioning, there are a lot of different transitions that happen at this stage of life. And if there's something that you're going through, your life is probably going to be different from what it was before that. And it might be that you have more of an opportunity to think about who you are now and what you like to do. Because as I said, many of us have been busy being wives, we've been mothers, we've been employees, we've been students, we've been we've been all of the things, but we haven't really focused on what things really and truly matter to us. And some of us are even living lives that were not necessarily what we wanted to do. And so, if that is you, take this time to consider the things that would truly bring you happiness and make you smile. And having along that same thought, I did want to share with you that you will have an opportunity, and it will be the link to it will be in the description. But you will have an opportunity to share some things that I have, and I'm going to share this with you. It is called the 25 Ways to Fill Your Life with Happiness and Joy. And this is something that I created many years ago that I use to, just to give you some ideas on some things that you can try. Because since that has not been a focus for us, a lot of times it's difficult to even know where to begin. Like, what does bring me happiness? And just the first, I have like 8 that are visible on the screen for you. And I'm not going to go through each one of them, but I want to kind of touch on them to give you some ideas on some things that you can try. Because there's so much going on in this world, and if we allow it to, it can really bring you down. So there are things that you can do for yourself that don't necessarily involve anyone else. Something that, as the first one says, releases endorphins. Laugh at least once a day. Laughter releases endorphins in the body and brings instant joy into your life. And I will say that I'm very thankful that I have a husband who loves, loves, loves to make people laugh. And he really likes to make me laugh. So that is one of the things that we do. Sometimes we just sit around talking about things that we used to do, or just um, I'm smiling because I thought about something he did just the other day. When we were first dating, we were talking about how sometimes it just takes one word and just, it'll make you laugh. And and it's a random word, and I'm not going to share what the word is, but he said that to me the other day. And it just makes me laugh. Okay, sorry. But yeah, laugh at least once a day. And I'm thankful, like I said, that my husband makes me laugh a lot. He helps me with that, whether I want him to or not. So that's one. Looking at here now, number 4 says reconnect with nature at least once a week. It's important to enjoy nature and find time to explore it. And many of you know that I live in Manta, Ecuador. My husband and I we moved here 7 months ago. And it has truly been a wonderful experience. And we have been able to add more earth connections. And well, that actually has been our goal, what we have been looking towards. We when we first retired, we moved to Jacksonville, Florida for the golf and for beaches, and we got that and truly enjoyed it. And then we had an opportunity to move here, and we live on the beach. I have to show you all some pictures of where I live at some point. But if you go to my YouTube channel, you will find them. But I do have some images from here. But we love walking on the beach, barefoot, so that you can get grounded with the earth and just, reconnect and feel what it feels like to get back in touch with, bring your body and the closeness of the earth back into through your feet. And it's very, I love the coolness, even though it might be warm. I love the coolness of the sand and even, the water as well. Another thing that you can do to bring happiness and joy into your life is to focus on somebody else. There are generally opportunities to volunteer somewhere. I was a Girl Scout leader for 12 years um, when my daughter was of that age, and I went along with her, and it was made great connections, and it was a really good time for us, and it's very beneficial. We are actually going to be I'm in connection with a community of ladies here that we are going to be doing some volunteering here in Manta, and my Spanish is not fluent, but I have a feeling it's going to get to be pretty good after we're going to be working with some children and helping with reading and helping them learn Spanish, and but that's going to be a good opportunity. We haven't started yet, but we are in touch with the people, and we should be starting that pretty soon. But volunteering and helping others fills your heart with joy, and that's what we are talking about here. What are some things that will make your heart sing? Just having the opportunity to be grateful, to reflect on your daily blessings, finding gratitude within them. It helps you not to focus on the negative. What about your creative side? Are you a creative person? I am. I would say that I'm creative, but I also don't always necessarily like to do things just strictly, something that I'm making. Like I wanted to share with you that I have actually recently been. Oh, sorry, I left it. It wasn't as close as I thought it was. But I have an adult coloring book, and I again, talking about the sandwich generation, my father is in the United States. He doesn't live here. And so we talk on the phone frequently every day. I talk to him every day. And while I'm sitting and talking with him, sometimes I like to color in my coloring book. And so this is my latest. I don't know if you can see it, but I think it's cute. And it allows me the opportunity to relax. And while I am talking to him, I also used it while I was traveling. When we moved here, there was a lot of layover time, and this is another one that I did. And these are new hobbies for me. This is not something that I have been doing, but I do find that I enjoy it. And so I, it brings me joy. It makes me smile. So I am adding that to some of the things that I like to do. And I didn't, ahead of time say, oh, well, when I get to be an adult, I'm going to start, you know, coloring with pencils. But I have found that, it brings me some peace and calm. And it's not only for when I'm on the phone with my dad, but I like doing it. I have discovered that I do like doing that. And so it makes my heart sing. So what about you? Now I've given you a few things that I shared with you to let me say 25 ways to fill your life with happiness and with joy. Now, I wanted to share with you that there are actually 25 on the document. I only am sharing 8 of them with you. However, if you are interested in seeing what the rest of them are, there's a link to the download in the description. So you can go through there and find some other opportunities to bring some happiness and joy into your life. And if you would, let me know what you try. Let me know if something works for you. Let me know if it didn't work for you. You may, there are no guarantees, and we are not saying that if a particular thing doesn't work for you, then, there's something wrong with it. Everybody, likes different things. And so I just want to encourage you to take some time to discover some things for yourself. Now, my coaching program is called Love Yourself at the midlife stage and beyond. And I want to encourage you to love yourself at the midlife stage and beyond. If you don't love you, it's difficult for others to love you, because when you don't love yourself, you don't tend to do things that would make you to be enjoyable. And we, as I said, have been focused on many other things other than ourselves, and some of us feel a little bit awkward when we are given that opportunity or even ask those questions, because we just don't even know where to begin. So I want to help you to get started on where you can begin. If you download the 25 ways to bring happiness and joy into your life, I'm going to put it back up here again so you can see it. And it should look just like this when you download it. Uh-oh, hold on. I took it off. Okay, there we go. Right. 25 ways to fill your life with happiness and joy. So in the description of um, today's show, it will you will see the link right towards the bottom. So when you click that, then it's going to take you to a link in my PayHip store that will, but this is free, so you don't have to pay. And then you can go through and try a few things. And I would really appreciate it if you would come back and let me know what you tried and if it worked well for you or not. And if you're going to try something else, let me know that as well. So thank you for joining me today. And if you made it to the end, well, let me share this with you first before I leave. So as I shared before, my coaching program is called Love Yourself at Midlife and Beyond. And we look at 6 steps to help you learn to love yourself. We started out with discovering who you are now, looking at the wheel of life to help you to determine where your focus is in life. And if that's really where you want it to be, does it make your life run smoothly? Or is your life basically just washing away before you because you're just doing all these things and nothing that is really bringing you any type of joy or happiness? Then we learn to love the new you. So you've discovered who you are now. That's what we do first. We look at who you are now and what kinds of things um, make your heart sing, learn to love you, the new you. Then once we do that, we get into some things that may be a little more difficult but necessary, breaking through barriers of limiting beliefs. What are those things that have kept you from doing something, whatever it was? Somebody told you you couldn't do it because you were female or because you were black or because you were too old or too young. All of those limiting beliefs that keep us from even trying things sometimes. We want to break through those. Create the vision for what you have discovered that you want to do. How do you get there? What kinds of things would need to happen in order for that to work for you? So then we look at creating the vision. We do a dream sheet. We do a vision board. And then you take inspired action. And that's where I begin to hold you accountable for what you said you wanted. And if that is what you want, then we figure out the steps on what you want to do, how to get there. We look at whether or not your habits, your daily habits are heading you in the direction for where you want to go. And we look at how you may want to find out some ways to give you some life-changing tips on loving yourself. That's something that many of us just, haven't done. So you want to take inspired action. And what that means is you take action that's going to get you to those places. And then lastly, we celebrate success. That's our sixth step. Because you do all that work and then there's no benefit, there's no, no happy time about it. And, you may or may not meet all of your goals, but you will most definitely meet some of them. And so we want to celebrate that. We're going to reassess and then go back through it should we choose to do that. So I'm hoping to give you a date for a start date for the program. I want to kind of share it with you. This is actually going to be um, the word has escaped me. When it comes back to me, I'll let you know. Not anyway. When it comes to me, I'll probably put it in the chat. But yes, I do want to provide you with the information on what the program would entail, and hopefully you will be like, yes, I can use some assistance with that, and check with me. But I will give you details on when we will get started. I want to know your interest, so let me know if you're interested. And if you did make it to the end of the video, please give me 3 little music notes so that I know that you are working on what makes your heart sing. So I think the internet has allowed us to go ahead and get through. I don't want to chance it too much today. So hopefully you've gotten enough information right now that will get you started on filling your life with happiness and joy. Now, remember, you can get the download in the description. And if you don't see it, or if the download doesn't work for you, or there's something that goes on with it, just let me know, and send a message, send me a DM, and I will be sure to get that to you. So thank you again for joining me on Midlife Marriage Magic. My name is Deborah Austin, and I am so thankful that you were here with me today. And I will see you here at 4 o'clock. Next week it'll be at 4 o'clock. I had some technical difficulties this week, but I said I wasn't going to not show up. So I'm here. We were behind schedule, but we were here and we shared, and we hope that you got some benefit from it. So please, as I said, if you made it to the end, give me 3 musical notes so that I know that you are working on what makes your heart sing. Share with me what you try and works, and if there's something that doesn't work, let me know that and send it on, and we will keep pushing forward till we find some things that are going to work for you. So thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next week, 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to chatting with you again on next week. And I'm trying to wait for my ending to come up, and it's not working. Y'all, this internet here. Okay. All right. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll be talking with you soon.